This is the Louie T Network.
I'm ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Louie? Yeah.
Overtime! So we head to overtime.
Who else could it be but me, your me, Louie T? Welcome to Monday Night Football Overtime. Redskins, Eagles, NFC East family business. You know how the family do it. If these two teams say they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. Goddamn Carson Wentz. Damn it, man. He's good. He's damn good. Or as a wise man once told me back in the day, he's real good. That boy good. And I told my fellow Redskin brethren, the key to the game was stopping Carson Wentz. Simple as that. All the other ancillary parts on their team are average. But when you have a special player like Wentz, he makes everybody that much better. Alshon Jeffrey stinks. He's slow. He doesn't run good routes. But when Carson Wentz gets free or puts it on the money like he did on that throw down the sideline, you can't breastfeed the man any better than that. So that was good coverage. I'd love Dunny to look for the ball, locate. Don't give away freebie in the end zone because you didn't look. Just turn and locate. Jeffries ain't going nowhere. He can't run. Who are y'all running? Locate the ball, bruh. When Ertz breaks contain, that's when a guy like Aguilar is actually pretty talented. Aguilar is pretty talented. Ertz is pretty talented. And that touchdown before halftime, it hurts. It definitely hurts. That one stung bad because we controlled most of the first half, and with one play, that damn deep ball to Hollins, and that was just way too much time to throw the football. And I can't tell you until I go back and watch what coverage it was, but it was one-on-one, Swearinger and Hollins. Hollins, and a lot of people don't know this, he's a 4'4" guy. Big, tall, long strides. I don't think DJ Swearinger knew how fast he was. He got up on him quick, and they got even, and he left him. You know the rules to the game, and play. And Wentz put it right on the money. And when you have a player, Corey Clement stinks. That's why he went undrafted. He's garbage. Wentz escapes the pocket. How the hell did he manage to get that throw off? Can somebody tell me, Louie T, how he got that pass off with enough strength to get it over the defender right into the hands of Corey Clement's stinking ass? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm asking you. I need answers. Somebody help me. And don't get me started on the play because that was the game. We were down 7. We had all the momentum. We were going to score. Trust me. We were going to go down and score and tie this thing up at 24. And I said, let's go. We got him. No, we don't got him. How in the hell did he get away there? Again, don't ask me. I don't know. But that's Carson Wentz, man. That's why that man could potentially be the MVP of the league this season. He's extraordinary. And one of my biggest keys to the game was get Carson Wentz ass. Because if you don't, these are the types of things that will happen to you. And I know a lot of Redskin fans are going to blame injuries. And I don't want to hear about that. Everybody's got injuries. Yeah, we got a ton of them. Not an excuse. Get the man on the ground. Get him on the ground. Grab his arm with the football in it. If I'm going to approach Carson Wentz, my thought process is I'm wrapping up arms. He's not throwing any goddamn thing. He's not throwing the football unless he's throwing it left-handed. He's not throwing the ball. When I grab him, I'm grabbing arm. You want to throw it left-handed? Be my guest. Be Eli Manning Jr. But you will not throw this football right-handed. But somehow, some way, and both losses, same thing. Same thing. We lost both of these games the same way. Kirk Cousins shredded these boys tonight. Except when they got pressure, and our offensive line is in tatters. Again, I'm not here to make excuses, man. Ain't no excuses here. Offensive line, Momo tried to fight. Brandon Sheriff, man, that was some BS. You know, BS went down, and the Sheriff he wasn't in tonight, man. And that hurts because that's our second best lineman. Trent had to leave early. You'll see where this is going. When the night ended, from left to right, our offensive line went TJ Clemmings, horrible. Sean Laval, serviceable. Spencer Long, good. Chase Rouillet, what? Momo on one leg. Damn. Hard to win in this league like that, man. It's tough, man. It's tough. It's a war of attrition. Boy, we need Ty and Seki back in the worst way. But I'm not going to make this about us. We lost. You let the losers worry about losing, man. We're going to talk about these winners tonight because now the Eagles are 6-1. And you saw the schedule. I didn't realize the schedule got that easy. Now, it's still the NFL. And you look at easy, and easy is a relative term because it can change from, man, that game. A lot of people say, man, the Rams looked like a win when the schedule came out. That's a relative term. It looked like an easy game then. It's not an easy game now. So, you know, the Denver Broncos, they're struggling right now. But in 2 weeks from now, maybe they're not struggling. Maybe they're playing outstanding football. Who knows? They get Shane Ray back on the 30th. They get Jake Butt, their rookie tight end out of Michigan, back on the 30th. Maybe they're a different team then. Easy is a relative term. That 49ers game, that's not relative. That's an easy game. They're going to win that game. So you're looking at 7-1 for this Eagles team, possibly 8-1 before they see the Cowboys in a month or so. So I'm anxious to see if they're going to just run away with this thing and be not just the best team in the NFC East or the best team in the NFC Conference, but the best team in the league. Because don't forget, record-wise, they've got the best record in the league. Not just in the NFC East, not just in the NFC Conference. They're the only one-loss team in the league. So yes, this is a really good football team. And they're led by one damn good quarterback. And boy, he's good, man. I can't state that enough. God damn, he's good. And you know the saddest part is, we got to deal with him for the next decade plus. Oy vey. But anyway, welcome to the show. I'm your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me here on the program. Monday Night Football overtime. Eagles impressive over the Redskins 34-24. Carson Wentz was magnificent. And his play in this game led to the Eagles coming out on top and improving to 6-1 and really putting a stranglehold on the NFC East. The only team that could really catch the Eagles at this point is the Dallas Cowboys. And really the only team that can stop the Eagles now is the Philadelphia Eagles. And so we'll get to this breakdown and talk about the Eagles in this game and how they were able to take advantage of the Redskins and run away with this one and hide. Soon we'll talk about the Redskins and some of their struggles and where they went wrong in this game. All of that and more here on the program tonight. But first and foremost, if you haven't already done so, what are you waiting on? Subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content. In 2017 and beyond, we changing the game over here. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button. But you can be even more active if you so choose by donating to the Louie T Network by either using Patreon or PayPal. Those two links you see in front of you are both down in the description. So by all means, if you can, please donate to the Louie T Network to help further this channel along. Also, you see all the social media platforms right there in the corner, with the exception of Instagram. That is also in the description. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all in the description, all the links down there for your enjoyment. Check them out, use them, follow me, like me, all over the place. That will keep you in tune to what's going on here on the Louie T Network. One side note, my Memphis Grizzlies won tonight. At least one of my teams won, God damn it. We 3-0. And we just went to Houston and won. So I feel damn good. And yeah, we beat the Warriors. We did that. We did that. So I feel good about something tonight, but I don't feel good about this. So let's talk about this because that's why we're here, right? So let's talk about the Eagles because they looked good, man. After the first quarter, they struggled in the first quarter. Got off to the worst start you could possibly get off to, but the defense was big and forcing the Redskins to settle for a field goal. And we're going to talk about that because that's sickening. That sequence of events is sickening. And you got to get 7 there. You got to put the Eagles on their heels by getting 7 on that opening possession. But after a struggle in the first quarter, the Eagles, they soared. Or as they like to say, fly, Eagles, fly. Well, they flew from the second quarter on in this game. 17 second quarter points. And like I said, really the catalyst for that was the deep ball to Hollins, which was a beautifully thrown ball. Great protection by the front, giving him time. And with the Redskins only rushing 4, I don't know what kind of coverage they could have been in to where Hollins is single matched up with DJ Swearinger. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking it's got to be some form of cover 3, but I don't think it was cover 3 because deeper than the deepest, that outside man would have needed to have been a little bit deeper than that. And he was more towards the outer third, which would not have been the responsibility of DJ Swearinger. So I don't know what that was, but anyway, DJ Swearinger, I think he severely underestimated just how fast Mac Hollins was or is, and he ran right by him. And it was a beautifully thrown football. I was hoping Wentz would overshoot him. No such luck on this night. Wentz was pretty accurate with the football when he had time. And on that play, he had way too much. One of the few times tonight that we didn't blitz, and he had way too much time. And you saw what he did with that. And you know how I am. I err on the side of over-aggression. I'd much rather have him shred me by blitzing and somebody breaking a tackle and going 60 than just like that. You know, stand back there for 5 seconds and launch it. And that, to me, speaking of launching, that launched the Eagles and propelled them to a hell of a night as they scored there. Then the defense got a huge stop to get the football back to the offense, and that was a huge 3rd down and 1. And the Redskins have struggled all season long on 3rd and 1. We'll talk about that when we get to the Redskins. But great stop by this Eagles defense to get the football back to the offense of the Eagles. They move it right back down the field. And then Zach Ertz just tells DJ Swearinger, who had a rough night, hey, watch out, man. I got a date with the end zone, man. Watch out. Now, seriously, watch out, man. Move out of the way. I got to get in the end zone. And so just like that, you go from up 10-3 to down 17-10 at halftime. And yeah, the Eagles get the ball after halftime too, in case you didn't remember. And you know, I hate getting the ball first, but the Eagles won the toss and they did the right thing. They deferred to the second half and they came out in the second half. And that was a crucial drive because we needed to force a field goal. Really, we needed to get a stop is what we needed to do, but we didn't get a stop. Okay, well, don't give up a touchdown. Don't do that. Give up a field goal. Push. Pull, do something, some type of resistance. Nope. Great play by Wentz to look off the corner. And this is what happens when you got rookies in the game, man. They don't know no better. And I told you, don't bring your rookies to this stage. It's too big. The lights are too bright. You just can't bring rookies out here, man. What the hell was Joshua Hosey doing on that play? Don't ask me. I don't know. Okay? Don't ask me. He ran away from the action. Not to it. Don't ask me. I don't know. In any event, Wentz with a pinpoint accurate throw there, back of the end zone to Alshon Jeffrey. Touchdown. What can you do? Great execution, great play, bad execution by us. Touchdown. And just like that, I'm not going to lie to you. At that point, I lost just about all hope because I said, they're not done scoring for the night. And we haven't hit 30 all year long. And we're not hitting 30 tonight. So if we were going to win this game, it needed to be 27, 24, something along those lines. When they hit 24, I said, okay, we're done. But then there was a ray of hope. We take it down the field, and we get in the end zone. And we just needed one stop. One stop. And Carson Wentz, and I'm going to tell you this too. The Eagles were outstanding in their no huddle, and that's all Carson Wentz. Then they speed up and change the tempo. He's got such command of what's going on. And I don't want to turn this into a Carson Wentz love fest. But damn, the man is good. Give the man credit. I always tell you guys, give credit where credit is due. We don't do that enough. when we talk about players when they're great, and a lot of times we fail to do it when it's repeated greatness. When it's someone like Tom Brady or Peyton Manning when he was playing, when you come to expect the greatness, you kind of dismiss it like, oh yeah, that's Peyton Manning. No, it's not Tom Brady. It's not just Tom Brady. It's greatness. Relish it, acknowledge it, and make sure that you bask in this, because once it's gone, it's gone. This man is great. And his command of the no huddle, he's got better command of the no huddle than most quarterbacks do that have been in the league. Hell, he's got better command of the no huddle than our quarterback does. We can't even line up when we go no huddle. We got guys running wrong way and can't get to the right side of the formation. Their shit is nice and tight. He gets up there, he barks out a few orders, couple hand signals, and they up to the line of scrimmage in 5-6 seconds, and they ready to snap the damn ball. And he's effective, he's efficient, he knows where to go, reads coverages well. They do a really good job of figuring out if it's man or zone. And so they got the play set up to where, okay, we know where to go with the football, pre-snap reads. They were outstanding tonight. And Carson Wentz, I give Doug Peterson, and I told you last year, early in the season when Carson Wentz first came into the league, Peterson and his crew did a great job of scheming up and drawing up plays to help him succeed early on in his career. And I thought tonight was masterful by Doug Peterson. I don't think Peterson is the best in-game management coach there is. I think he makes a lot of mistakes. But tonight he was flawless. And he didn't really have a lot of tough decisions to make. We didn't put them in a lot of tough binds per se. We didn't put them in a lot of positions where they had to make some tough calls. 4th and 2, do you go for it? Do you punt? Do you kick a field goal? Whatever. We didn't do that tonight. So he didn't have to make some questionable decisions, because I love putting him in positions because I always think he's going to make the wrong decision. He always errs on the side of aggressiveness. We didn't force the issue and push the envelope tonight. And I thought his game plan was just masterful. Come after the Redskins. And if we ever get into a rut, if they ever start to seize control of this game, speed up the tempo. Speed up the tempo. And we struggle with that. That's a known fact around league circles that we don't handle. That's why in the last 2 minutes of the half, in the last 2 minutes of the game, we have given up the most points because we don't adjust well on the fly. There's a lot of miscommunication, like the San Francisco 49ers game last week, where receivers running wide open down the field. There's a lot of busted coverages. There's a lot of guys that are gassed, don't line up, don't hear the call. A lot of guys that are tired. We don't get a good enough rush when guys are fresh, let alone when guys are tired. So they did a really good job of scheming it up, of putting Carson Wentz in some great positions to succeed. And I thought they were outstanding. And they executed the game plan to perfection. And Wentz was Wentz. I mean, that 24-17, 3rd and 6, Redskins got him for a sack, a 9-yard loss. They're going to have to punt. And somehow he comes out of the other side of that pile like Houdini. What can you do, man? I mean, that's when you just say, and you just keep it moving. I mean, there's not really much more you can say. What more can I say? Ain't really much more you can say. Defensively, I wasn't impressed with the Eagles. But then again, I never really am. Their secondary is suspect. You saw it tonight. There are holes all up and down that secondary. Their defensive line, we know, is one of the best in the league. And they got pressure. I felt like they got a lot more pressure once the line started to deteriorate. I didn't think the pressure was necessarily there early. Kirk Cousins only incompleted 10 passes on the night. So, and 2 of them were drops by Terrell Pryor. So, I mean, seriously, this Eagles defense is okay, and they had a lot of injuries themselves defensively. I mean, their linebacker. I saw one of their linebackers. He's like a long snapper, number 56, Joe something. Like, what the hell is the long snapper? Get his ass out of the game. What's the long snapper doing at middle linebacker? Get his ass out of here. So there were a bunch of coverage busts and things we were able to take advantage of because they were banged up at the linebacker position. But they did enough. They got the stops on 3rd and 1. At I think the first 5 third downs of the game, we were 0 of 5. And that's a testament to the Eagles defensively. And the thing I like about them is on our side of things, we were aggressive on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd downs, we weren't as aggressive at points. The Eagles aren't as aggressive on 1st and 2nd down, but on 3rd down, you best believe Jim Schwartz is going to dial it up and bring it. And I didn't think we were prepared tonight. I thought that we should have been prepared for a couple of 0 blitzes and we should have been prepared to beat them with something other than an out route. Everything seems like it's an outbreaking route when a team, why don't you run something? There's nobody over the middle. When they come with 7 guys, there's nobody over the middle of the field. How about running a slant, not an out? It's much harder to throw an out, pinpoint accurately, than to throw a slant and beat a guy and be off to the races. Everything is outbreaking. I'd love to see something in-breaking when the Eagles come with that much pressure. We knew they were coming. They did it last game. We know Jim Schwartz is coming. At least 5 times a game, Jim Schwartz is going to dial it up. And I didn't feel like we were prepared for it. And he got us on some third downs, and he got his team off the field on some third downs because they were struggling. And again, testament to him, his coaching staff, and his players for going out and executing. I also thought the Eagles tackled really well tonight. There were a couple of plays where I'm like, if you don't make that tackle, boy, Vernon Davis about to be off to the races. You don't make that tackle, boy, Chris Thompson about to scare these boys. But they made some really, and they hung on for dear life a couple of times, and they did a really good job of just doing the little things right tonight. They made us work. No big plays, nothing cheap, nothing deep like we gave up. They made us work for everything that we got. And so while I wasn't ultra impressed with their defense, they did what they needed to do to put their team in a position to win. They went out, they executed, they did everything that they had to do. They got off the field on third downs for the most part. They kept the Redskins out of the end zone early in the game when the Redskins had a chance to really put the Eagles back on their heels. They made the plays when the plays had to be made in this game. They got to Kirk, hit his arm as he was throwing it, caused an interception, which ended up being, and at the time, you just figured, okay, we're down 14 anyway. It doesn't matter. But that interception turned out to give the Eagles the 3 points that they needed to put this game away, because if they don't get that field goal and the Redskins, I wanted them to keep running because their run game to me is ineffective. And no one's afraid of LeGarrette Blount. We can stop him, and we did stop him tonight. Yeah, one good run, and that was Zach Brown with a poor run fit. He gets in the right gap. That run doesn't happen. But that turnover that they forced at the most inopportune time turned out to be the field goal that they needed to keep this game out of reach, because if that field goal doesn't happen, that turnover doesn't happen, and the Redskins scored a touchdown like they ultimately did, now you're looking at 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, and you kick that football off, and you see if you can't get a stop and get the football back down 31-24. So that turnover at the time seemed insignificant because it didn't seem like it was going to amount to much at the time. It was 17-31. But if that doesn't happen and the Redskins just say they had to punt there, and there was a receiver open on a crossing route, I don't know if Kirk would have been able to make the throw or not, but let's just say that he doesn't make the throw and we punt, and then they just run it 3 times and punt the ball back to us, and we end up scoring like we did, we still got a shot in this game. So that was a huge turnover. So give the Eagles defense credit. It wasn't the prettiest performance by their defense, but when they had to step up and make plays, that they did tonight. And they were the better team, and they deserved to leave this game at 6-1 with a stranglehold on the NFC East division as they get it done 34-24 in this football game. And another shout out to them for Jake Elliott, their rookie kicker. He did miss a kick at the end that would have put the icing on the cake, but and you know, me being a delusional fan, after he missed, I said, hey, good field position with a $140 left. Get a quick strike, onside kick. We got a shot. Hell no. You ain't got no damn shot. Take this sack. Sit your ass down and shut up. Okay, all right, I hear you. Loud and clear. So he's good, man. You got yourself a good kicker, and I liked him coming out of Memphis. I thought the Cincinnati Bengals, they drafted him. They should have kept him. They made a mistake. You pounced on that mistake, and you got yourself a keeper at field goal, at place kicker in Jake Elliott. So this is a really well-rounded Eagles football team. And so Wentz makes it all go, though. If anything were to happen to him, they're in trouble. But if this man stays healthy, this is going to be a tough team to beat because he makes so many things happen and makes so many things easier for so many people on that offense. I mean, man, he's good. Anyway, let's get to the Redskins. Let's start on the defensive side of football because that's where this game was lost. I mean, the excitement that the Redskins fans have had, me included, and I knew we had injuries. I chose to dismiss the injuries just because I like the depth on this roster. And I felt like despite no Jonathan Allen, despite no Josh Norman, we were going to be just fine. And we were going to be able to overcome those injuries and go out and play ball. And for a quarter and a half, we did that. And it's a shame that, one play really will define this game, the Wentz escape. It's a shame because this defense gave up a ton of stuff. That one play is going to be the one that sticks out, but we gave up a ton of – we gave it up on third downs all night. We couldn't get Wentz down. Again, the touchdown to Clement. How? Why? Why can't you get him down? Why can't you stop him from throwing the ball? The escape on 3rd and 6. I mean, they let too many things go again, and they knew what they had to do. You saw the concerted effort that they came out with to contain him, keep him in the pocket, not let him outside the pocket. A lot of double A-gap blitzes, a lot of things up the middle, but then having guys stunting outside to keep him inside so he couldn't escape through the back door. And so it was a great game plan theoretically, but the execution, again, like it was in week 1, wasn't there. Couldn't get him on the ground. Allowed the Eagles to make some plays and some, long downs and distances. You gotta make the Eagles pay. We get the field goal early, and the defense is able to get a bunch of penalties on the Eagles on that first drive, and you get them off the field, and you get a penalty. And they get to, or that might have been the Jamison Crowder fumble. God damn it, he's pissing me off on punt returns. Really is. I mean, God damn, you got to stop fumbling, bruh. But back to the defense. I'm getting off track. I thought it was a great game plan by Greg Minuski. His game plan was to be aggressive, come after Wentz, make him make plays. He made plays. But I like the aggressiveness. I like the aggressive approach. The one down that we didn't go aggressive, he went up top to Mac Hollins, one-on-one with Swearinger, and he smoked him. It happens. You wish it didn't happen because much like the Eagles, keep everything in front of you, nothing cheap, nothing deep, man. I would much rather that be Monte Nicholson. If you're going to have somebody deep, have somebody with speed back there running around, not Swearinger. And so that one stung because, again, we had control of the game. The Eagles, at that point in the game, had nothing going. It's 10-3. We were dominating. And that touchdown changed the game, and it was so quick and abrupt. It just took your breath away, and you're like, damn. In one fell swoop, you go from leading to tied, crowds involved, and then the impending 3-and-out that would follow gave the football right back to them, and boom, before you know it, 2-minute warning, right down the field, into the end zone. And I would have loved to have seen Jay Gruden at that point in the game start using his timeouts. Because the Eagles are going to score at this point. It's just a matter of what? A touchdown or a field goal. You knew you were going to need more points. Don't sit on your timeouts and go to the halftime break with all 3 of your timeouts. Start calling them bad boys. When that clock got to around a minute and they had 1st and goal from like the 8, timeout, goddammit. Y'all either going to get this bad boy in or you're going to give us back the ball with about 40-something seconds. But damn if you're going to give us back the ball with 18 seconds, 27 seconds, and expect us to just take a damn knee and go to halftime. Use your timeouts, bro, but, that ain't Jay Gruden's strong suit. That's not that whole clock management and all of that stuff. That's not his forte, man. And so you love the defense. Get a stop right there. Q-Bar, turn around, bro. Turn around. Don't let the official see you with your hands face guarding. Turn around. Damn, turn around. You turn around there, it's incomplete. He just threw that up for grabs. You might have even picked it off. Just turn around. It's Alshon Jeffrey. We not scared of him. He got 2 first names, man. I don't trust that dude. Turn around. You did it all last game. Turn your ass around. You didn't turn around. Pass interference. You knew they were going to throw the flag, man. Don't get up acting surprised. You face guarded. Turn around. Look for the ball. Damn. That That one before half, more so than the Mac Hollins touchdown. That one hurt. That one stunk. That one hurts, as the Eagles fans like to say. That one hurts. Because you get a stop there and you force them to kick a field goal. It's 13-10 at halftime. We can live with that. You go into the halftime break feeling good about yourself at 13-10. Can you make the tackle, Swearinger? Can you not let the man just toss you aside? Like yesterday's garbage? Man, watch out. Get out of the way. Got some business to attend to in the end zone, man. Watch out. Really? That's the second time in 2 games the Eagles done tossed your ass aside and walked in the end zone. Aguilar did it in the first game. You let Ertz do it in this game. It was a rough night for DJ Swearinger. Rough night for Swearinger. But, damn, man. That hurt because it made it 17-10. And then they got the football back after halftime and they scored again. They double-dipped. 14 points without the Redskins essentially seeing the ball. Don't count that kneel down as a possession rate before that halftime break. 14 points before the Redskins saw the ball again. Same thing the 49ers did to us. They scored 10 points. A touchdown rate before the half, which we're one of the worst teams in the league at the last 2 minutes of the first half and the last 2 minutes of the game. You saw it against the Chiefs. You saw it against the 49ers last week. Hell, you've seen it all season if you're a Redskins fan. We give up points before the half or at the end of the games. 49ers did it to us. They scored 10 points straight before the Redskins saw the football again. 7 right at the end of the half and 3 after they got out of the halftime break. And Eagles did it here, but theirs was way more severe. It was 14. You go from 10-3 to 10-10 to 24-10 before you saw the football again. Come on, defense. Need you to make a stop, bro. Field goal in there somewhere. Anywhere. I don't give a damn. Before half, after the half, I just need you to hold them to 3 at some point. Just a little bit of resistance. What can you do, man? What can you do when your defense can't get you a stop, get the football back to your offense, who was playing relatively good ball? We just struggled on third downs. And that's been the story of our team this year. We don't have that one guy. We miss Pierre Garçon. Forget D-Jax. We can live without him. We all said as Redskins fans last year that Pierre Garçon was the one we wanted back because of these types of situations. On third down, Kirk needs to know I can go here with the football and I'm going to win. Whether the guy wins or not, I'm going to win. Because Pierre's going to make sure I win. We don't have that guy. We don't have that dog right now. We don't have that guy right now. Nobody wins. Even when they don't win, they win. We don't have one of those guys anymore. We need one. We need a receiver with dog in him. A receiver that is tough. Like a Jarvis Landry type cat. We need one of them. One of them dudes that on 3rd and 3, they know they're going to get hit and they willing to take that shot and come down with the ball. Our receivers are soft. Except for Jamison Crowder and Ryan Grant. But even they don't win. Like Crowder will win, but he's so small. You know what I mean? Like he's 5'8". So it's like if he doesn't win with quickness, he can't out physical somebody. Like we need a tough guy at receiver. That's what Pierre was for us. Because Ryan Grant, he's not a tough guy. You know, he'll take a shot, but he's not a tough guy. Like, I'm going to push you off the ball. I'm going to get physical with you at the stem of a route, come back, and I'm going to out-muscle you for this route. It's not his game. Josh Doxson is soft. I'm calling the man soft with a capital T at the end. He's soft. He runs routes soft. When contact comes, he kind of shells up. He's not looking to lower his shoulder, none of that, which is fine. Everybody, I'm not asking everybody to be He-Man and go out there seeking contact. Be who you are. But he's not tough. He's not going to win a route. You saw on that pass interference late in the game, and Jalen Mills pushed them all up in his neck and his face. And Josh was just soft. He's soft. It is what it is. Terrell Pryor can't catch. Can't catch. He's big. He looks good. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane. Looks good. He ain't about that life. That's what we're missing in this offense right now. A tough chain mover. We have one of them. We be scoring 30 every week. That's what we're missing. A tough chain mover because we can't run on 3rd and 1. So you got to throw it. So you got to have a guy like Pierre who used to win on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5 last year. Run the stop route. They knew it was coming. Still couldn't stop it because Pierre was going to out-muscle them for the route. We're missing that guy. And that's why the Eagles were able to get off. I didn't like the 3rd and 1 to Jordan Reed. Short of the sticks. Come on. Run a better route. Throw it past the sticks. The only dude. And if you're going to throw it to Jordan Reed short of the sticks, let him square up so he can break somebody off. Don't have him turn with his shoulders parallel to the line of scrimmage to where he can't make a guy miss. Damn. 3rd downs killed us tonight offensively because we could have matched the Eagles score for score, but we couldn't convert on 3rd downs. We had a couple of 3rd and shorts. We were in 3rd. This wasn't like the first Eagles game where we lived in 3rd and long, where we couldn't get out of 3rd and long to save our life and they teed off on us. We were in 3rd and manageable all night long. All night long. All night. Oh. All night long. All night. All night. All night we was in 3rd and manageable and we still couldn't convert. That shit hurts. Because you knew if we could just convert, we could have scored more points. And we knew it was going to take a lot of points because our defense could not stop the Eagles. Couldn't stop them. And it seems like we got one of these periods in every game except the Raiders game. We've had one of these periods where the defense go ice cold, can't stop a damn nosebleed. It's happened in every single game except the Raiders game this year. Even in the wins. We've had a period where we just couldn't get a stop. Maybe that'll get better when Norman comes back. I don't know. But defense isn't what we thought it was. I enjoyed the pressure tonight, though. Like I said, I thought it was a great defensive game plan by Greg Minuski. I thought he put players in positions to make plays, and we just didn't go out and execute. I love the Ryan Kerrigan. I always have been saying, when we go into nickel pass rushing situations, why not Kerrigan, P. Boogie, and Gillette all on the field at the same time? Why do you have to sub one of those guys out to get Gillette in? Why not Kerrigan, Gillette, and P. Boogie all in the game with Ioannidis? And those are your 4 rushers. When we did it, we got to Wentz. We sacked him. It's not rocket science, man. One time and you won and done with that? It worked. Kerrigan beat their guard like he stole something. What's wrong with doing it again until they fix it? Till they keep a back end for protection or something. Take away one of their eligibles. Maybe they got to keep a tight end in. Take away another one of their eligibles. If it's not broke, why you fixing something that ain't broke, man? The Eagles ain't fixing their blitz. That shit ain't broke. They keep coming. Oh, y'all can't pick it up? Well, we gonna keep bringing it. Same damn blitz. Every time. Stop it if you can. Oh, you can't? We'll keep running it. It's not rocket science. Terrell Pryor got benched tonight. That was refreshing. Boy, our receivers, sketchy at best. That could be a problem moving forward. I thought we could get away with it with the tight ends and CT out of the backfield, and Doxson would come along, Crowder would be fine. We'd be fine. You got VD, you got Jay Reed, Crowder. We'll be fine. No, you won't. You need a guy to win on the outside. We don't have that guy right now. And that's what's killing us on 3rd downs. We don't have that guy that's consistently winning on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. We don't have that guy right now. And it's hurting us. It's hurting us bad. And on a lighter note, Nick Rose didn't look bad. He got a bad snap or a good snap in a bad hole by Tress Way, and he still was able to poke it through. I thought he kicked the football effortlessly out of the back of deep in the end zone. He kicked one up really high. I think he did that on purpose to give the Eagles the thought of coming out, and he did, and we stopped him short of the 25. I think we stopped him short of the 20, as a matter of fact. So he looked solid. We didn't try. I wanted to see if we got into a position where, it was a 53-yarder, would we send him out there to kick it? But we never got into that position tonight. So a lot of questions, not a lot of answers right now. So we're going to have to find out what this team is made of, because now you got to turn around and you got to try to get it done against a Cowboys team that they're coming off a big win. They feel good about themselves. And this could easily snowball and turn into a nice little losing streak for us if we're not careful. And the offensive line, the biggest takeaway right now is the health or lack thereof of this offensive line. I mean, we watched Sheriff go down, and I was cussing Brandon Graham out because he put his helmet right into the side of his knee. Usually that's how you tear an ACL. Remember, that's what happened to Vitamin B last week against the 49ers. Dude put a helmet right in the side of his knee, sprained his MCL. That's probably what happened to Brandon, because he was walking around on the sideline. He just wasn't able to put the requisite weight on it to come back and feel comfortable moving around. It's just, oh my God, the offensive line is falling apart at the seams. Trent limped off the field. I told you got to give it up for our offensive line. They be battling their ass off, man. Every single week. They're never healthy, but they come out. Momo is never healthy, but he fight every week. How many times he get hurt tonight, come back? They fight every week, but at some point, TJ Clemens is going to have to start for us. And that's scary, man, because he stinks. He stinks. So I'm not optimistic about the future of this team right now with the amount of injuries that we have. Damn it, man. We 3-3. Eagles are 6-1 via a 34-24 victory over the Redskins on Monday Night Football. The Eagles right now are the best team in the NFC. The Eagles are right now one of the best teams in the league. So we're going to see how this thing plays out. I've talked too much. Let's get to some of your comments. All right. See what we got. Andrew Kim says, glad I got 10 wins due to this game. LOL. Hopefully double digits continue next week. I don't care about picks tonight. Spectacular Pooh 24 says, no comment, no nothing. I'm going to let Louie T say everything. Hopefully I covered everything. If I missed something, by all means, let me know. HTTR 804 says, this game was horrible. Too many injuries. That's been the story of this team the last 3 weeks. You could say, man, too many injuries. You could say that going all the way back to the Kansas City game. That's when it started for us with all these injuries. Dominic Garland says, I feel like injuries will keep us from winning. That's the name of the game in this league, man. I mean, look at the Green Bay Packers. You think if they had Aaron Rodgers, they wouldn't be one of the best teams in the NFC right now? But they got injuries. They happen to everyone. Nobody wants to hear your excuses nor complaints. Find a way to get it done. This league is a war of attrition. Injuries are going to happen. Some teams are a lot more fortunate than others, but in any event, injuries are going to happen. You got to find a way to circumvent them. We didn't in this game, and hats off to the Eagles. Ricky L says, Wentz is a bad man. You see how he escaped that sack? Effing crazy, man. I know. You don't have to tell me. I watched it like 10 times. Like, let his knee be down. Something, any forearm, something, anything. Help me out here. Nope. Man never went down. And to be honest, I don't think a Redskin really ever touched him. It's just the whole pocket engulfed him. I don't think a Redskin ever really got a hand on him. So, ridiculous. AP 9000 says, my God, Lou, what a terrible performance by our boys. Can't take away the fact that we had a ton of injuries, but can't let these things happen. I mean, it is what it is. SW Mike says, they get the ball back in the second half, and I already knew they had this game. Did you? Nah, not yet. At 17-10, I said, if we could just force them, I knew they were going to score. So from that regard, from that respect, yeah, I didn't think the game was over at that point until they scored the touchdown. That's when I said, okay, we lost this game. Of course, me being a naive Redskin fan and always being the ultimate optimist, once we scored the touchdown and cut it to 7 at 24-17, I'm like, all right, get a stop, and we can tie this thing up, man. We're not done yet. We don't have to be done yet. Wentz said, you are done, and we're going to go down and score a touchdown. And they did. And he made that Houdini play, and, I mean, it's not really much more you can say. The man is outstanding. AP 9000 says Wentz is too legit. Dude is looking like an MVP at this point. I'd love to say at full strength we put up a better fight, but we just got to take this loss and move on. I mean, Josh Norman isn't going to stop Wentz from running from 5 guys that's collapsing the pocket. Maybe Jonathan Allen might have had something to say about that, but he probably still gets out and makes that play, man. I mean, damn. I mean, what can you do? Vegeta's Dark Side says, do you think Cousins stays or goes after this season? Are you going to ask me that after every game? I told you that's something that we'll revisit at the end of the season, but I already answered the question. I've answered this a million times. This is the last time I'm going to answer this question. He's leaving after this season unless the Redskins come dangerously close to doing something special, i.e. win a playoff game, come close in the second game, in the divisional round. If the Redskins don't make the playoffs, he's gone. If the Redskins don't win a playoff game, he's gone. I already said that a million times. Stop asking me the same question. Melvin Glossen says, we wanted to repay them so bad in their home, so losses like these hurt big. You know, I mean, it was a revenge game. You wanted to get them. We were due for a sweep from these boys, man. We've been beating them up for years. We've been little broing them for the last 3 years. They was tired of it. We were due for a sweep, and we got swept. And it is what it is. That's a good football team. You know, I take nothing away from them, man. That's a good football team over there. They just out-executed us, man. There ain't really much more to say. Isaac Schnook says, T-Skins need to get healthy. I feel like almost every team is like 4-2 or 3-3. It's a conglomerate in this league of 4-2, 3-3 teams, man. No doubt. AP 9000 says, Lou, we don't make tackles on QBs unless they're stationary in the pocket. How do you not know that by now? I'm aware of this. I know that to be the case. Still, you know, you'd like to think that we can get a guy down on the ground or at least hold him long enough till the official says, all right, he's down. But that's just not what we're capable of doing, man. We need more legit edge rushers. You know, it'd be nice if Junior Gillette could get back to what he once was, but that's a pipe dream. I don't know. That ship may have sailed. I've always said that after the first year after Achilles surgery, you're not going to be yourself. It takes 2 years to get back to where you once were. Well, he's coming off of 2 Achilles surgeries, so you can't expect him to have the same explosiveness he had, 3-4 years ago. So we'll see. Cloud says, Louie, 6-1. Yep. Y'all 6-1, man. Y'all are a damn good football team. AP 9000 says, I know you like to write off injuries, but starters are starters for a reason. You can't complain about backups and then say they're not an excuse. I'm not complaining about the backups. We lost. We got beat. We weren't healthy, and the guys that stepped in didn't perform at a high enough level. It ain't nothing else to say. You either get it done or you don't. This league has no space for excuses. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent and weak. We don't make excuses over here. We just find solutions to the problem. And so we didn't get it done tonight. That's a problem. You don't make an excuse, you find a solution for it. Real Live TV says, where has Pryor been? He says, 1, where has Pryor been? 2, does Cousins have a problem throwing the deep ball? He keeps throwing it short while Wentz is throwing bombs. When did we throw it deep tonight? Ever? Question 3 for you. I don't recall us ever throwing the ball deep once tonight. Taking a shot down the field. 1-on-1. So, I don't know what you're talking about. Cloud says, we lost the bodyguard, a.k.a. JP. Hope he's all right. Generally, when dudes get carted off, that's not a good thing. Hopefully, Jason Peters won't miss the rest of the season, and it isn't catastrophic, but you never like seeing a dude get carted off because generally, unlike a receiver or somebody else that gets carted off, you might still see that cat 4 weeks later. When an offensive lineman, they're pretty tough. When they get carted off, chances of them coming back, slim and none. So we'll see. I don't know, man. Black Al B says, yeah, man, us Vikes fans know all too much about TJ Clemens. He's effing ass juice. We know. I know. I am not looking forward to him having to play. So I'm hoping guys are okay. But, eventually if we don't get Ty and Seki back early enough, he's going to have to play. So, Real Live TV says, should we put Gruden on the hot seat for what? This isn't a John Gruden problem. He can't control guys getting injured. He can't control Terrell Pryor not stepping up, making plays. He can't control guys not executing out on the football field. Specific guys. I mean, if we were healthier, I think this is a different team right now. I don't know if we're 3-3. Maybe we're 4-2. Maybe we are 3-3. But he can't control injuries. All he can do is call the next play. Whether TJ Clemmings is in the game or Chase Rouillet is in the game, all he can do is call the next play. And this isn't a Jay. I would say Jay Gruden can do a better job of clock management, but man, 90% of the league's head coaches can do a better job with clock management, not just Jay Gruden. AP 9000 says, I'll say, though, the Eagles still beat us fair and square. No way we can have this many lapses on defense and expect to win. We deserve what we got tonight. They out-executed us. They were the better team, and they won the game. Isaac Schnook says, Redskins need to figure out their receivers. Great comment. We didn't know that already. AP 9000 says, best we can hope for is a wild card spot if we can get healthy. That sounds about right. I mean, you're not going to win the division. Now, you're 0-2. You got swept by the Eagles. That means you got to go and have a better record than them in order to finish better than them in the division. They'd have to have an epic meltdown for us to do that, and we'd have to get extremely hot. I don't see either one of those things happening. Cloud says, hit double digits from this game. Good for you. AP 9000 says, I know you're more forgiving, but I'm done with Pryor. He didn't have many targets, but he's just not a good receiver. I think the transition for him has been a lot tougher here than it was in Cleveland, where there was little to no expectations. I'm starting to sour on him too. And it's a one-year deal, so if they don't like what they've seen, and obviously by benching tonight, they don't like what they've seen, he won't be back next year. Steph Curry says, off subject, how'd you end up a fan of the Grizzlies? I'm a Memphis fan, and we look pretty decent in these 3 games. Don't we? I'm excited. I want to talk Memphis Grizzlies basketball with you right now. I'd much rather talk that than Redskins football right now, but that's not what this is about. It's a long story as to how I became a Grizzlies fan. So I'd have to tell that story another time. AP 9000 says, he's still learning the position. If he was supposed to be a we, then he would have been one before he got to the NFL. I'm done with his garbage Cinderella story. It is what it is, man. I mean, we got to move on. We can't wait for guys to figure it out. We got other receivers. Put those guys in the game and see if they can't make plays. Nexo Toy 1 says, Eagles better than the Rams? Yeah, I'd take the Eagles over the Rams just because I take Wentz over Goff. We've had that discussion before. 2 second-year quarterbacks, Wentz, to me, is light years ahead of where Goff is right now. And because of that, I take the Eagles before I take the Rams. Carlos Garcia says, will you ever make videos about basketball on this channel? No, but I actually have a channel called Louie T Sports that does basketball videos. I would like to get back into that eventually. And I'll probably make Memphis Grizzlies videos over there as well because I'm such a huge Grizzlies fan. And I actually love our bench this year. And we got depth. And we still got guys out with injuries. We lost Jermichael Green. And we still waiting for Wayne Selden to come back. And we still got Ben McLemore. And those dudes aren't even healthy. And we still deep. We go like 11, 12 deep right now. And we still got 3 dudes banged up. So I'm excited about this Grizzlies team. Our bench has never been this good. But back to football. Dark Sealer 1995 says, I was rooting for your Skins, but I didn't like the offensive game plan. Demote Pryor to number 3 receiver and give the ball to Thompson more. The run game was abandoned too early. I didn't have a problem with the game plan. I had a problem with the execution of the game plan. 3rd and 1s killed us tonight. 3rd and shorts killed us tonight. I thought we moved the ball effectively. I thought everything was in timing and rhythm within the offense. Everything looked good until we got to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 4. And then for some reason, Eagles brought pressure and everything fell apart. And that's where I had my biggest problem in this game at. Cloud says, what's your opinion on Vaitai? I think he's doing fine. People keep making him out to be good. I don't like Vaitai. I think he can be exploited when he gets into the game. I thought the Redskins should have did more to come after Vaitai on that right side. They didn't. Because I remember Kerrigan having a 3-sack game against him last year. I would have loved to have seen the Redskins target Vaitai a little bit more, but they didn't. And That was our loss in this game. You got to go after the weakness of the opposition, and we didn't do that in this game, I didn't think. Matthew 123 says, that was a typical Skins loss, especially on Monday night. You know how it is. Cloud says, our linebacker depth sucks. Yeah, it does. Like I said, I saw a dude look like a long snapper out there, man. I'm like, what is he doing on the field? Reby says, glad we picked it up in the second half. We needed that touchdown before the half, and I think that's where the tide turned. I still need your team to win next week. We're not trying to do y'all no favors, Reby. We trying to do ourselves a favor and win next week. Don't be looking for us to win to help y'all out, man. Dark Steeler 1995 says, to me, every team has a game that shows us if you're ready for that next step and ready to make noise. This was that for the Skins. Prime time at your rival's house. You could argue that game was the Chiefs game too. You know, that was a big stepping stone game, and a lot of people was excited about the loss. Man, you showed us a lot of non-Redskins. Man, you showed us a lot tonight. No, all we did was show that we can compete. But a lot of teams can compete. But you got to win those games. We lost, and I told y'all, there's no moral victories. Proud of the way the guys competed, but you got to win that game, and we lost, and so there wasn't a lot for me to take away positively from that game, and same thing here. Rocksteady 1974, the great, says, do you think Jay needs to be fired because he keeps letting the same old BS slide? Nah, I'm not with that fire Jay Gruden stuff at all. That's how you remain a bad organization. You want to be the Cleveland Browns? Keep firing your coach every year and a half, every 2 years. Keep recycling coaches in and out, and see how that does your franchise. You guys don't get tired of doing that? Like, find somebody else to blame. Jay Gruden is not the biggest issue that we have on this football team. RG3 hashtag says, why every time y'all put Fat Rob in, y'all lose? We don't have a Fat Rob in the game, y'all lose problem. We need to play more. I actually thought we ran the football effectively. I thought we should have ran the football more in this game, to be honest. Cloud says, my man Barnett, though, 2 sacks, and both were on backups, man. Barnett, to me, still has a ways to go. I told you I didn't like him coming out of Tennessee. I don't think he's a pure natural win off the snap pass rusher. He's a hustle, second effort guy. That's how he's going to get a lot of his sacks. He says, what's with, Dominic Garland says, what's with the run game? We don't block, our tight ends don't block well. So we're not, by virtue of that, we're going to struggle in the run game. Real Live TV says, Cousins lacks aggression. He don't want to have big throws, big plays. I disagree with that. I think this year he's taken a bigger step, running the football in some crucial situations. He doesn't have a lot of big-time help. You know, I'd love to see somebody step up and say, I'm that guy at receiver. Give me the football. You know, we had 2 alpha males last year that he could get the football to. We don't have that this year. I'd love to see that. Somebody step up. All right. Are we back live or what? Let me see. I hope we still live. I'm going to keep going as if we are live. Yeah, I hope we still live. RG3 hashtag says, is Wentz in the MVP race? Absolutely. I talked about that at the top of the show. He is absolutely squared set in the middle of the MVP discussion. It's too early to start crowning MVPs, but when we start having that conversation, he'll be one of the first names on that list for sure. Tall Stack 6161 says, bad decisions. Swearinger had his worst game by far. I'd agree with that for sure. Reby says, yeah, that touchdown before the half was the turning point. My heart relaxed after the next TD. Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's when the game took a turn for the worse for us, was when Ertz got in. If that was a field goal, I would have felt a lot better at half than that being a touchdown, because I knew you got the ball after half as well. And got to find a way to force a field goal. One of those has to be a field goal. Both can't be touchdowns. Dominic Garland says, Brandon Sheriff suffered an MCL. And that's what I said. I guessed it was an MCL. Similar to what Bashad Breeland had last week. He was walking around after the game. So I kind of put 2 and 2 together. John Perez says, it was good to see Jordan Reed finally back in the end zone. I hope he's able to get over his injuries and get back on track. That was probably the lone bright spot in this game, was Jay Reed starting to get his mojo back. He did get injured again. You saw him come off the field, and he went and took a knee, and he grimaced. but he manned up, came back in, and scored 2 touchdowns. Reminded me of the Cowboys game last year on Thanksgiving where he was injured, left the game, came back in, caught 2 touchdown passes, gave us a shot in that ball game. Pretty much did the same thing here. So I love Jay Reed. I'm glad to see him get back in the end zone as well. I'm with you. Real Live TV says, next year, do we focus on receiver or cornerback more? Hard to say right now. I actually think our cornerback situation is pretty good. You know, Josh Norman's banged up. I think Fab Moreau's going to be a good corner. I like Q-Bar. I think we're fine in corner. I honestly do. The bigger issue, the more pressing need is receiver. And that's assuming, and you just assume that Kirk Cousins is back. That's assuming you even have a quarterback. Who's going to quarterback this team? Colt McCoy? I mean, I don't know. We're going to see. Corey Fitterman says, can't put blame on Kirk when receivers don't get open and Jay stops running the ball. I thought we could have run the football. If there's a criticism of Jay tonight, I thought we could have run it a little bit more. But, again, I didn't have a problem with the play calling. I had a problem with our execution on third downs. That was where my problem lies. Darcilla 1995 says, this team misses Garcon badly. Pryor can't catch, and he's soft as a baby's bottom. After the game, he was saying, my grandma gave me that chain. Gosh. The Black L.A.B says, you crack me up every time you do that Lionel Richie all night long joint. Reby says, losing Jason Peters is scary. Wonder if Lane moves over, they keep Vitae. They got to move Lane over and put Vitae at right tackle. I think, unless you don't feel confident Lane can get it done at left tackle, I think you got to hide Vitae at right tackle. At least Wentz can see the pressure coming from the front side. You put Vitae at left tackle like you did tonight, and Wentz will never know it's coming, and that could be a problem. Also, Reby says, Kendricks didn't play. Robinson went down tonight. 2 linebackers. Yeah, both your linebackers went down relatively early, so your linebacker depth was tested for sure. Isaac Snook says, Vernon Davis should play more. He might help on third down. I always said he needed more targets. He needs more touches. Every time he touches it, something big seems to happen. The Black L.A.B says, why aren't they calling more plays to Reed? He got his first touchdown of the season tonight. Dude's a beast. That's always been my biggest problem is down by the red zone. You see how we ran the bullet slant tonight? Why haven't we been doing that? I'm not going to sit here and complain about that. I've always wondered what the problem was, but in any event. Let's see. Dark Sealer says, the safety play was bad. That 60-yard touchdown can't happen. It can't happen. You're right. Louie, you were right about the Redskins on Monday night games. I was hoping that would stop tonight, but we can't win on Monday night. We've solved Sunday night. We got a problem on Monday night. And Thursday, not our friend either. I'm not looking forward to a Thanksgiving game against the Giants later on in the season, and then the following Thursday against the Cowboys. That might be 2 losses right there, man, but that's looking too far ahead. Corey Fitterman says, I don't know why Jay didn't challenge that third down spot that was short, but they gave him the first down anyway, and Jay didn't challenge when the back went out of bounds. I thought he could have challenged, but I don't know if he was going to win that challenge. I didn't have a problem with him not challenging when Clement went out of bounds. I didn't have him have a problem with him not challenging that. The other one I thought he should have challenged, but, I mean, it is what it is. Again, in the second half, I'm a little bit more cautious with challenges because you're going to need those timeouts. And if they deem something is kind of sketchy and they think that, you know, they don't have the evidence to overturn it and they let the call stand on the field, then you lose a timeout in a game where you're going to need your timeouts because you're trailing. So Reby says, Reed was putting in work tonight. Body bag game on both sides. I know injuries are a part of the game during the fourth quarter. Bodies were just dropping on both sides. Yeah, it was. I was just hoping at that point that guys would get up and not have to be carted off. A Break for Rapper says, do you think the Chargers against the Patriots game will define their season? I talked about that on the Chargers video already. Brandon Sullivan says, I can see the Redskins slipping after this. Those receivers are not getting it done, and the defense has to develop a more aggressive attitude and step up in crunch time. It could easily happen. You're at 5-5. You're at a crossroads in your season. You're at 3-3, You're at 500. Cowboys coming to town. They've beat us two straight times, and they're looking to make it 3. And they've got all the confidence in the world. We're dealing with a number of injuries. They're relatively healthy. This could easily turn into a snowball effect for the Redskins. We'll see. Reby says, finally, a steady, good, with potentials to be a great QB. You got yourself a good one on your hands, Reby. You guys got a good one, man. Corey Fitterman says, time to call up Mo Harris. We'll see about that. Brandon Sullivan says, I'm a Trailblazers fan. Love the Grizzlies and what they did with Zebo. Huge fan of Fizdale. Good luck this year. The West is too stacked. I think we right there in there, and I love Fizz. That was the best thing we could have done. Black L.A.B says, let's go T-Wolves. Hashtag Wiggins from half court for the win. I watched that game last night. That was crazy he made that shot. Dark Sealer 1995 says, I think one of the issues with the defense is the speed. The outside linebackers are slow and the inside guys are average. They are built slow and unathletic. That's the problem. That's why I didn't like us drafting Ryan Anderson. Everybody said, oh, Ryan Anderson is a beast. Give him some time. He's Ryan Kerrigan 2.0. He's the same guy we already have. I would have preferred Tim Williams or somebody explosively off the edge, not another clone of what we already have. He's physical in the ring. He ain't going to set a physical edge. We got enough physical edge setters. We need pure, unadulterated speed off the edge. We don't have that. Real Live TV says, do great QBs make great receivers? Randall Cobb, Gronk. Why can't Cousins make one? I'm sure they've been practicing all day, or maybe Gruden don't know how to use people. Your guys still got to be really good, but QBs can make players better. We've seen Tom TBE do it all the time. But Kirk Cousins isn't Tom Brady. Kirk Cousins isn't Aaron Rodgers. He's not Drew Brees. Those guys elevate the players around them. Kirk Cousins isn't there yet. He may ultimately get there. He's not there yet. Dark Sealer 1995 says, you sound annoyed and pissed, Lou. LOL. Trust me, I understand completely. I scream at my TV and get frustrated constantly. Yeah, I'm annoyed. Of course I'm annoyed. I expected us to play better, and I wanted a better outcome, but you know, it is what it is. Black L.B says, Ty Nsekhe was a security guard with me at the Hilton in Philly when he played for the Soul. Hashtag mundane facts in history. Oh, word? That's what's up, man. Because I knew he had a little bit of a journey to the NFL. That's what's up, man. Reby says, LOL, too funny. Love your channel, man. Hey, Reby, I always love your support. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. And continue to join the program. Much love to you, Reby, no doubt. And good luck to your Eagles the rest of the season. You got a damn good football team over there. Brandon Sullivan says, I don't want to see Cousins against my Seahawks twice a year. Please keep him, Lou. LOL. I hope we can, but I think he's going to bolt for San Francisco. I've said that all along, and I haven't changed my opinion on that. John Perez says, losing Brandon Sheriff for a long amount of time would be a huge blow for the Skins offensive line. Moses and Trent are banged up too, but I love how this offensive line is battling. I couldn't have said it better myself, John. These guys battle tooth and nail. They're banged up. You know they playing hurt, and yet they come out and give us everything they've got every single week. We got warriors along our offensive line, and I wouldn't trade them for any offensive line in the league. Black LB says Redskins could get Rivers. I mean, we could use a veteran like that, but I don't want a stopgap. I want a Carson Wentz. Damn it, if I can't get Kirk back, I want a Carson Wentz. I want a guy you got to deal with for the next decade. Real Live TV says, F it, pay Cousins 4 years, $90 million. Too much? It's going to take more than that, bro. It's going to take more than that. DC Big Oso says, that Monday night thing at this point is all mental. It seems that way, but until you win, it's going to continue to be a topic of discussion. Eagle Speed said, if you thought the Redskins would win, you need to wash your face and get your mind right. I need to wash it a couple of times and get my mind right, man, because we looked outmatched tonight. Dark Sealer 1995 says, when my team loses a game, I look in the mirror and I say to myself, at least I'm not the Browns, and it makes me feel better every time. That doesn't work with me, man. I'm sorry. Upgrade for Rapper says, my bad. I know it was off topic. I just wanted to get more in-depth answer since you skipped the comments on the Chargers video, because I did it while the game was on, and I didn't want a lot of the fans telling me what was going on in the game. But in any event, that's going to do it for me tonight, man. Eagles win the game, and they were outstanding, 34-24. Carson Wentz, I mean, my goodness, what can I say that I haven't already said about the man? He's outstanding, and he proved it again tonight. And one of my biggest keys to the game was get Carson Wentz. Get Wentz. We didn't get Wentz, and he got us, and we lost because of it. 24-34, Eagles get the win, go to 6-1, and really put a stranglehold on this division with a sweep over the Redskins. Redskins dropped to 3-3, and now with all the injuries and the Cowboys coming to town, this does not look good for the Redskins. Hopefully you get Josh Norman back. Maybe that helps the defense out, but the offense is in a tough bind with all the injuries. Not looking forward. In a short week, remember, this is a Monday night game. We come back and play Sunday. So short week, a lot of injuries. We've been saying that for the last couple of games. We got another tough week of preparation in front of us. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on the Louie T Network. Come back and join me as I continue to break down anything and everything in the National Football League. Eagles, victorious, 34-24. Go to 6-1. They're now 2-0 in the division. And they've got a really, 3-0, excuse me. I shorted them one. They swept us and they beat the Giants. They're 3-0 in the division. And they've got a stranglehold on this division at 6-1. With a soft schedule coming up and some home games, this thing could get out of control quickly in the NFC East. We'll see how the Eagles handle these upcoming games and if they can continue their hot streak of football and really run away with the NFC East division in 2017. That's going to do it for your man Louie T here tonight. Disappointing performance by the Redskins. Defense, offense, couldn't convert on third downs, which was one of the biggest issues in this game. Eagles converted on third downs. Eagles made plays defensively, offensively when they had to be made, and they were victorious 34-24 on the night. I will see you guys. No Redskins report. I don't know when I'll do it this week. I need to because it's Cowboys week, but it's too close to the Monday night game to do it tomorrow. So maybe I'll pick another day. I'll figure it out. Hopefully somewhere in here we'll get a Redskins report in here and chop it up. In the meantime, I will definitely see you for winners and losers on Wednesday. Till then, I'm your man Louie T, signing off. Thank you for joining me tonight on Monday Night Football Overtime. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.